There are a few new rules and regulations coming into Season 8 that should bring some very exciting changes to Formula E racing. We've got a completely brand new qualifying format, we've got extra power available for the drivers and new time regulations. So there's a few things to get our heads around, but fear not, we've got you covered. Here's what's new for Season 8. Gone are the days of having usable energy deducted by the FIA after any stoppages in the race, because as of this season, Season 8, for every full minute behind a safety car or full course yellow flags, 45 seconds will be added to the 45-minute plus 1 lap that is a Formula E race.
Safety car in this lap, safety car in this lap.
Now there's a limit of 10 additional minutes, so any safety cars or full course yellow periods after the 41st minute of the race will not add any additional time. So this is a pretty significant rule change for a number of reasons. The biggest potentially because of what it changes in the team's ability to prepare for a race with their energy management strategy.
It's safe to say there will be a level of expectation of extra time being added, but how much is completely unknown until the race is well underway. A green flag race isn't too common in Formula E thanks to the nature of the street circuits that are raced on. In fact, last season, 13 of the 15 races had one or more full course yellow flags or safety cars. So teams and drivers will need to run even more scenarios in the simulator for different amounts of extra time added, and be able to react and change energy targets and strategies quickly as races evolve. Every percent of energy available can be the difference between victory and falling down the order, and the teams that put the extra prep work in will be greatly rewarded.
Ultimately, more racing is only a good thing, because as we've seen in the past, those last moments of a Formula E race often provide lots of drama and action. More time, more moments. Now, if there's one thing that drivers and fans alike want more of, it's power. And luckily for them, there's more to play with in Season 8, because power in standard race mode has gone up from 200 kilowatts to 220 kilowatts. There's also been an increase in power in attack mode, going from 235 kilowatts to 250 kilowatts. Now you might be thinking, it's the same powertrain and batteries from last season, so why wasn't that extra power available then?
Well, battery and powertrain hardware and software is constantly being pushed to its limits in Formula E racing. And with every season, developments are made to be able to push them a little further without risk to durability or safety. A great example of how all that data crunching race in, race out turns into developments in performance, which then finds its way into the road cars via the manufacturers and suppliers.
Now, extra power is one thing, but battery capacity hasn't changed. So what that means is that teams and drivers will have to be even better at managing their energy during the race, which is what Formula E is all about. Finally, Season 8 will bring with it a completely new qualifying format. Now, this format's being implemented to allow for the fastest teams and drivers to really showcase their speed and skill, but without losing the ability of any driver in the grid pulling a great lap out of the bag and qualifying high up the order. So how does it work?
A group stage will see two groups of 11 drivers, the order of which being dictated by odd and even positions in the Drivers' World Championship. These two groups will then have a 12-minute session at 220 kilowatts to set lap times, with the fastest 4 from each group progressing into the duel stage. Now those 8 drivers, 4 from each group, will then face off in the quarterfinals, the fastest in Group A going against the 4th fastest in Group B, the fastest of Group B going against the 4th fastest in Group A, 2nd fastest against 3rd fastest, and so on. Head-to-head in a knockout format at 250 kilowatts, into the semi-finals and on to the final. The winning driver of the final duel takes pole position, with the runner-up starting second. Now the rest of the grid will line up as follows. The semi-finalists on the second row in 3rd and 4th, the quarter-finalists filling the spots between 5th and 8th based on their lap times, and looking further down the grid, the drivers who competed in the pole sitters' initial group will fill the odd positions, 9th, 11th, 13th, and so on, with the corresponding drivers from the other group making up the even grid slots, 10th, 12th, 14th, all the way up to 22nd and the back of the grid.
It's going to be interesting to see how this pans out, because in the past, qualifying has been extremely influential on any overall title or championship hopes. And this new format aims to keep things competitive, but also lessen any negative impact of doing well in previous races like we've seen in past seasons. Plus, who doesn't love the idea of driver duels every single race day?